Don't you want it? 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 You lose your little mind. 5, 10 lives.
Minis, welcome to the Deadlight Podcast Mini. I am your host, Mini Sam, and with me is Mini Nicole.
Mini Tiny.
Of Coley Photography. Thank you again for being the guest on the most recent episode of the podcast.
Yeah, it kind of ruined Saw for me. I really lived in my brain of like really liking it, and I'm like, I don't think I like it.
Sometimes that's what this podcast does. It ruins things.
No, it opened my eyes.
Okay.
So we'll have a positive twist.
Yeah. Well, I hope that it made maybe, yes, the things that were really bad about it worse, but maybe the things that were sweet about it sweeter.
A lot of sweetness.
Because next to bad things, yum, cherry, sweet with all the blood.
If anything, I love Donnie Wahlberg even more.
We'll go then.
Oh my lord.
He was a big baby. Anyway,
Big baby.
just wanted to have you on the Minisode because you also run your own photography business.
Oh, I do.
Called Coley Photography.
Yes, Coley Photography.
Yeah.
That's me. Black and white portrait photographer. Had a lot of fun time shooting with you and Leslie.
Yeah, we've been on there a couple times.
Quite a bunch, yeah.
Since the beginning of the podcast, for sure.
Absolutely.
Which has been great.
Well, it's so fun because I've never done anything like it. I mean, we're black and white portrait photographers, but never gone into the depths of horror, which everyone I feel like we've gotten even spookier.
True.
Especially this last one, the zombies.
Yes.
So things we've never played with, like special effects or Leslie doing your guys' makeup, which is incredible, was such a fun experience. So every time we shoot, it's so fun.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, for us too. It was just kind of a fun thing for us to do. So
yeah, why not?
Make us spooky.
No, such a fun collaboration.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So how long has Coley Photography been around?
Ooh, let's see. I think
like it's
this
been a while.
Its 9th year.
9th year?
Mm-hmm,
wow.
9th year, straight out of high school, got in the game through headshot photography, event photography. It's had a very big evolution. Always portraits, but a lot of that changed during COVID, when everything shut down. People didn't want family portraits anymore, rightfully so. So we kind of turned inward and we're like, well, what creatively do we want to do? And we realized in the back of our heads, black and white stylized photography is always what we've been so interested in.
And
so it's kind of what we've just been continuing.
Yeah. And why black and white specifically?
I've always loved black and white. I think it's because our father has always shot in black and white. I mean, the cameras that he shot with were always had to be in black and white. But growing up, seeing the pictures around the house, I always loved, I don't know, I've just always gravitated towards it. My first photographer I discovered and my favorite is Ansel Adams. He's the master.
Black and white guy.
Yeah, high contrast, just, not portraits, so black and white in a different sense. But still, I think that's what really started my love. And I kind of, drifted away from that and forgot about that. And then when I looked at stuff again, I'm like, yeah, this is it. It was just like very full circle. And then my dad, Tommy Lee, that I work with, he started in that. And so for him to come back, that's also full circle too. So it just felt very like home.
Yeah.
And now we can't look back. And that's all we love to do.
Makes sense. It's like a Venn diagram.
Yeah.
Full circles coming together.
Yeah.
Crossing over.
Well, what's our over between, so it's me and Tom were the two parts of Coley Photography. What's our overlapping interest has always been black and white. And we've dabbled in it, but never did like a full send until we started our different projects. And we're like, yeah, absolutely.
Going full in.
Yeah.
And so what are the projects that you guys have worked on that you really like?
Yeah. So our biggest project is called Artist Exposure. We launched that. It was our COVID project. So we started in 2020 and launched it in 2021. And, we live in Chicago and there's such incredible artists. Your housemates, we've just come across so many. And we're like, man, we know all these artists, but other people don't have the opportunity to hear their art or see their art. So we just really wanted to start a platform for people to see great local Chicago art. So we photograph Chicago artists, and we create a platform where artists can connect and people can see their art.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's called Artist Exposure. We're about to start our second season.
And it's artists of, like, any artist, really.
Any medium. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we looked around. We had, like, DJs, video producers, editors, woodworkers, painters, just everything. And all art I don't know about. So to photograph them, learn about them, have interesting conversations about their art, that's what has been pushing the project forward and pushing our visuals and being our source of inspiration, really.
Artists inspiring artists.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Absolutely.
That's
And
gotta be.
just collaborating, especially coming out of COVID. We're like, we just want to collaborate, and that fuels us even more. And that's what keeps us wanting to do the project. And we had a really good response from artists, and just connecting with new artists was awesome.
So I guess it's kind of fitting that the movie that we watched was a sequel because you're...
I was like, how was this fitting?
I'll wrap it
Okay,
around.
okay, bring
I'll
it
wrap it around. Because you're working on the sequel to Artist Exposure.
Absolutely.
What's going to be different in season number 2 of Artist Exposure from season 1?
The components of Artist Exposure were an interview and a photo shoot, right? But we realized is that the meat of the project was all the moments in between. So we're having cameras rolling at all times. We're having all conversations between me and Tom, between me and the artist, just everything. So there's going to be a lot more video component because we realized so much of the project lived and breathed in there, and so many good conversations were missed. And yeah, that's just so big video component, kind of getting those unseen behind the scenes footage.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then what would you say is I know that the goal for, some of these artists is to actually, connect them. But how about the goal for you and Tommy Lee? What is the goal with this thing that is Artist Exposure?
I mean, I think we just really love creating a community of artists. That's what fuels us. That's what inspires us. And just being able to shoot completely in our style, and taking their art and having it fuel our projects, really. So just to keep strengthening that community and being able to shoot in our specific, artistic way has been really exciting.
Nice. Love it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Coley Photography.
Yeah. Thanks,
Go
guys.
check it out.
Go check it out. Season 2 coming soon.
So pretty much exclusively on Instagram or...
So right now exclusively lives on Instagram, but because we're going to have a lot more video elements, we are moving it to TikTok and Instagram. So multiple platforms, but you can find all the information at our Instagram page, Coley Photography, COLEY__ photography. All the information for the next season will be coming out very soon.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for being on the
Yes,
show, on the
thank
pod, and on the
you.
Minisode. Come back.
Absolutely.
And you come back, too. We'll see you next time on the Minisodes. You can find me at BeepBeepRichieT and us at the Deadlights Pod. Also, check out Playground Social, which is the studio that we are recording this from. Until next Minisode, let's get mini spooky. Ooh, mini spookies. Click, click, mini photographies.